Hi everyone! This video I am going to show you how to calculate your scores on an assignment as a percentage. The first thing that you need to know is that we calculate percentage scores based on the total number of problems correct out of the total number of possible points. So let's say that you had an assignment and there were 8 total problems. You got 2 wrong, which means you must have gotten 6 correct. Unanswered problems count as wrong problems. So the first thing you'll do when you are grading your own work is you're going to write your score as a fraction of the total number correct out of the total number of problems. So you got 6 correct out of, we'll write that as a fraction, 8 total problems. Then what you do is you take that score and you're going to make it into a division problem. A fraction bar just means divide. So when we read this, like we read a book top to bottom, this is the same thing as saying 6 divided by 8. So you're going to need a calculator for that. And when you type that into your calculator, 6 divided by 8, you end up getting a decimal. 0.75 or 75 hundredths. Well, percent, which is written like that, literally means out of 100. So with your decimal still in your calculator, there's one more step that you need to do in order to find the percentage score. 75 hundredths is in your calculator, and since percent means out of 100, you are simply going to type on your calculator times 100 to get a whole number. What you get is 75, and that means your score is 75%. So on all of your assignments that you grade, you should have both a fraction with the number of problems correct out of the total number of problems and a percentage score at the top of your paper. Here's another example. This time, let's say that there were 22 total problems. You got 5 wrong. Subtract to see how many you got correct. 22 minus 5 is 17. So on your paper, the first thing you'll do is write that as a fraction. 17 out of 22. Then you go to your calculator and you type in 17 divided by 22. And this time you get a really long decimal. The only thing that you need are the first few numbers. So I'm only going to write the first few, as much as I can fit here. Remember, as soon as you get that answer, you leave it in your calculator and you just press times 100. Now, you only need the first decimal place, which is, hopefully you remember, the tenths place. If we're rounding this number to the nearest whole number, the tenths place is going to tell us what to do. If that tenths place is 5 or higher, we round the whole number up. If it is less than 5, the whole number stays the same. The whole number is everything to the left of the decimal. Since 2 is less than 5, this stays the same, and the percentage score was 77%. Now let's say that you had an assignment with 14 total problems. You got 3 wrong, so on your paper you first wrote 11 out of 14. When you calculate this to a percentage, we'll divide 11 by 14, and this time we get a decimal. That looks like this. Before I give you the answer, I would like you to see if you can figure out what percent score this would be equal to. after multiplying by 100, this is the answer we'd get. Since we want to round to the nearest whole number, it's the bossy neighbor next door, in this case the tenths place, that tells us what to do. Remember, 5 or higher says you round up. Less than 5, the whole number would just stay the same. Since our tenths place is 5, 78 would round up to the next number, 79%. I hope this helps. Please let me know if you have any questions.